Here with more Space Engineers, and today we are going to do a little bit of a, I guess you could say, a wrap-up episode for at least for the station. We have gotten everything closed in and pressurized. This is the original hallway. And we're going to do a little bit of talking about the shipyard down there. I had some questions about ways of using them and setting some things up, so we'll take you through all of it, walk you through the station, and yeah. Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and get started. So let's go. Hey everybody, hopefully you're having a fantastic week and a terrific day so far. I have to say, I am actually having a good day so far. It's been a fairly long week at work, but you know, get to have some fun and get to spend some time hanging out with you all while we play some Space Engineers. So yes, we do actually now have an airlock on the ship. Oh, so what I did off camera, let's go head this way. I'll show you this way. I'll show you the changes that we've made. Let's get outside here for a second. Yay. Okay. So, if you remember when we were first building these things, people were asking, you know, well, how are you gonna set up the system so that when the ship docks it doesn't get stuck, you know, you don't have to cut it loose kind of thing, and how are you going to deal with the you know, piping in the conveyors and such. So what we've done is I'm using the pipes mod. For those who don't know what I'm talking about, there's a mod for maintenance tubes and cubes, and we're using that. So we have the adapter that comes into the piping. And what we did here is, at this point, these are two mergeless blocks. And so when we turn off those merge blocks, this should separate. Now that's outside of the merge blocks, these are the only blocks that come in contact with each other. One of the reasons we did the two merge blocks is so that we can keep this whole thing level. And then that way, if the ship has its gravity generator turned on, you don't end up with odd gravity fields. Everything should be on the same gravity plane. All right. So, as you can see, because the merge blocks are the only thing that are actually connected, when we turn those off, the ship should separate. Let's go give this a try. So I know this is one of the things that everybody's really been wanting to see done. I think this is, other than the shipyard, I think this is probably one of the most requested tests to be done. Now, I haven't done the separation test full scale with this thing yet. So this is this could either go really, really well or really, really bad. I'm not sure which. So before I docked in, I did go ahead and set up the merge blocks in a group. As you can see, they're on the bar there. Make sure thrusters are turned on, because you never know. And we're going to turn off the merge block. Oh, that's not good. Oh, it's that merge block bug. Okay. So, for those who don't know, when you have a ship that's docked to a grid, if the grid is changing status because you're using merge blocks, basically, it will sometimes reset the connector. It's a rather annoying little bug. Alright. And we've got so much gyro force on this thing that it is overly sensitive. Alright, so let's see if we can bring this thing in gently. I mean, we've effectively got multiple grids on this thing, so but to give you an idea of how well this whole setup works. So tap this around this way just a bit. And see if we can get this thing in close enough to not blow up while we're doing this. Look at that. All right. Okay. That is sorted out. But yeah, so basically that's how the whole thing is intended to work, is that you'll be able to detach this little beast, fly it around and go do some mining if you need to, or whatever, you know. Alright, so the merge list blocks worked, the merge blocks worked, and as you saw, the whole thing detached. Nice. Okay, I'm glad to see that that whole thing is working. I'm thinking I may put a landing gear on this thing as a secondary grappling system. As a secondary attachment system, I should say. Alright, so yeah. Okay, so we know that works. So the last time we were together, we were getting this whole thing filled in. As you can see, it is now done. The O2 farm is up and running. The storage system is up and running, and I think we are mostly full. I don't know if we still have any ice left. Ah, let's try that again. All right, let's take a look here. So it is still pressurizing. How much ice do we have in the system? So yeah, we've gone through about 6 million units of ice. Not bad. Oh, now the oxygen systems are obviously full. And it looks like my peak efficiency with these things, oh, hiccups, sorry, is going to be 2 bars. Man, I got a serious case of hiccups tonight. Alright, let's see. Alright, so we are about 47%, 50% efficiency. It's not too bad. And so that whole thing, you figure we've got 30 of those, each pumping out, let's say, half a liter. So you're looking at 15 liters of O2. It's not too bad. It's enough to keep a couple of players alive indefinitely. Now this entire system is airtight, thankfully. Come over here. And as you can see, we did move the shield generator, so that is no longer there. It's hidden in the station. If you want to find it, you are more than welcome to come look for it. I will be releasing a copy of the save out on the workshop, so that way for the folks that are curious, want to take a look at it, walk through it, you have my blessings to do so. If you make changes or you make any updates, let me know. Because I'm kind of curious to see exactly what people do with it. As it is, though, it's all good. So these are marked for future expansion. turn off our headlamp here. Now that we have all of this piped in. Oh, I forgot there's no gravity over here. So you have your small observation area, and then one of the, I forgot who said something about it, but they were saying with where the med bay was to turn it into a multi-layer area or a multi-level area, and I'm thinking that I'm going to use this instead. So this will be where I'm thinking this will be the exercise room. Originally I was going to make this the engineering stations, but I figured I kind of like the idea that this is probably like a workout room. This will be the food cafe area, and then heading upstairs here will probably be like an office space of some kind. So we do have lots of room in here. So if, like I said, if you do grab a copy of the save and you decide to make some changes or you furnish it, let me know. I would really like to see it. And then this is just the path that takes you down into the security area. Not gonna go all the way back down there. Okay. So I have to say, our builds have been getting bigger. So I'm not quite sure what my next build's going to be. Someone has previously suggested a Death Star. No, not going to happen. Mainly because of the fact building a sphere in this game is a pain in the butt. Then we have our hangar, our primary hangar, I should say. We've got our secondary utility hangar down there. So yeah, I have to say it turned out really nice. I really like the overall feel and function of the entire base. Oh. And then that takes you up to residential and the power generation room. If you don't want to go up a bunch of stairs, come back over here to the original hallway area, and you have that stairwell which will take you up to the residential wing, and then from the residential wing it's a half a flight of stairs down to the engineering side. And then on this side we have the external docking bay, the actual landing platforms, and obviously the original connector that we did. So yeah, I do have to say I am very happy with the way the entire thing came out. Okay, so we have made a few changes down here. Nothing drastic. Did I get all the lights? Yeah, all the lights are placed now. Okay, just making sure. Oh, let's turn on our lamp. And there we go. So what we're going to do is I'm going to power this thing up, and I'm going to show you one of the things that we changed. Alright. We want this to go like that. Now I'm not going to power, I'm not going to overpower the whole thing and have it spinning at max speed. You don't need to do that. So what we did is we mounted a rotor here, and now we have everything set up on grid, so the welders circle the actual build, and then the build stays pretty flat. Now it's tipped a little bit because of the way that when I was building it, but what you do is when you place your rotor, you just set the rotor to have 0 torque on it, and that allows the rotor head to free spin. So because of the way we built the assembly, the body spins and the head stays stationary. Yeah, not bad, right? So let's get this out of here. We're going to do this. I actually want it to go That way. Okay. So, S'more, for those who don't know, is a friend of mine. Also a YouTuber from time to time. He's basically gotten back into space engineers recently. And he's been asking some questions about things like, well, how do you get things like the landing gear squared? Because when you're trying to place one of these things, what it does is, as you saw, it tends to try and snap to surfaces. Right? So when you have this going on, it's like, well, how do you square it up? And what I do is, if I have the ability like I do here, let's see if we can get it to do it. Oh, you're not going to let me... I don't have steel plates, that's why. Okay, let's grab the materials. It helps if I show up prepared to the class, right? Let's go ahead and grab the gear. There we go. Okay, so yeah, as you see, it tries to snap to surfaces. So what I will do is, if I'm trying to square this up and I don't want to do it manually, in like with this case where I have a spire sitting here, I'll get the general direction that I want it, and then I separate from wherever I was looking, and without touching anything, this is where the fun part comes in. You need to get it close enough that it's going to snap to it. Not going to snap to it, but it's close enough that the magnetic clamps of the landing gear actually snap to it. Now the question is was that close enough? Looks like that was close enough. So if you ever need to set up a system, basically just build. You can, as an example, here, we'll come over here and do it where things aren't moving around, distracting me. I know it's the pretty shiny stuff, right? And any place that you can get the landing gear to try and snap to something, whether it's a legitimate snap to or not, counts. So, like with this, we now have it squared. So what I do is just basically that. That's really how I get around it. And see, that time I wasn't careful enough, it snapped to that. Oh, did it again. It doesn't work the first time all the time, but There you go. I think that's close enough. Yeah, should be close enough. But yeah, so that should hopefully give you ideas on how to do that. Now, if you really need to do something where you say you want to start with a block for some reason, you can do it with the block as well, and that will give you the level based on whatever it was originally set to. But that's the easy way to do it. If you're trying to do it with a landing gear, that way you have a separate grid, you can do that. The other thing that you can do is, I'm trying to remember, is it... Oh, not that. I thought I had it set up on B. There's actually an option. Let's see here. I have to go into my key bindings. It's been a while since I've had to use this. So under block placement, what you're looking for is, where is it at? Placement alignment. Yeah, so it should be B. That's what I thought. So this particular setting right here is actually really important, because what that allows you to do is when you have a block that's see, and I'm wondering if it's because I'm in a grid here. Let me. Interesting. Because what B does is it, oh, you know why? Because I'm not in a gravity plane. So B aligns the block. So if say your block is like this, and if I was in a natural gravity plane, I could hit B and it would reorient the block to be aligned to the gravity plane. Now, it used to work in zero gravity, and it would align you to the actual galactic plane, but it does not look like it does that anymore, which is kind of annoying actually, but oh well, is what it is. So yeah, if you're in a gravity well, hit B, it'll align the block. If you're anywhere else, like in deep space, you know, you just build a very quick little structure and you can manually align the landing gear if that's what you're going to build from. Excuse me. Hiccups again. Oh, but yeah, so if you're not going to do that, like if you don't want to use the spire system, you want to use the landing gear, that's how you can do it. Alright, so I think that's pretty much it for the base. I mean, we got the shipyard. We have our anchoring system that's built through here. Turn on our... Oh, that was not... It's turned on. Okay. I might need to run some lighting in here. Got our supply system. We've got... Yeah, I mean, I think that's pretty much everything in the base at this point. Y'all got to see me build it, so it's not like I have to really walk through and show you everything step by step. And for those that are curious, like I said, I will make a version of the save available on the workshop. Don't forget to ask me where the link is, because I know it's not going to be in the description. I try to remember it, and I never do. So, but yeah, the base has a bunch of little things tucked away in there, so you know, give it a take a look, give it a try. I will warn you that it is very mod intensive, so if you have a system that does not like mods, you're probably not going to like the save. Like I said, I think we're about 1.4 gigs of RAM for the mods. Anyway, that's pretty much the whole base. I want to thank you all for stopping in. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you hit that like button. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to throw them down in the section below. And if you're new to the channel and want to see more, be sure to subscribe. And if you really want to be kept up to date, make sure you ring that bell to let you know when new content comes out. And on that note, I'm going to get out of here. It has been a long, bloody day. It is the middle of the night, my time. Let me see here. It's about midnight, coming up in Wednesday morning. So this video is going to be about as fresh as it can be. Fresh picked for your enjoyment. Anyway, I'm going to get out of here. I hope you all have a fantastic day. Enjoy the rest of your week, and we will see you back here next time for more Space Engineers. As always, folks, take care and be safe out there, everybody. Oh, one punch drunk panda.